From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's April 14th, and $1,400 third stimulus checks will be landing for the fourth wave for my veterans today. And the push is underway for fourth stimulus checks that could give you over 4 months of stimulus checks. A lot of fours in this recording. We cover the third stimulus check of $1,400 landing today on April 14th. The fourth stimulus package that could give you at least 4 months of stimulus checks, and we're less than 4 months away from that. And the other breaking news across the board. Yesterday, Johnson & Johnson gave a lot of surprises to the economy, and that the surprises impact where and when stimulus is going to happen. Ultimately, it's important to understand that for fourth stimulus, you're going to get it if you make less than $75,000. Again, a four-person household or less. SSI or SSDI, Social Security or railroad benefits, you would get that stimulus check. And there's not four, but two ways to get it done, either by the House or the Senate. We'll compare and contrast how they're going to get it done. But yesterday we had surprising details from the CPI and also from the big news about Johnson & Johnson. I'll analyze that detail and how it impacts your stimulus. And today, also for 414, the Coinbase IPO today could be one of four possible bubbles that Wall Street's looking at. A bubble for the housing market, a bubble for the tech sector, and a bubble for crypto. Could all these impact your stimulus? It's a big early mornings broadcast, and I'm so excited you're here. Let's get to it. And this is Early Mornings LALATE. Toast is toasting and the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. It's April 14th, and you got 4 strips of bacon for me, don't you? Oh, you don't? Oh, again. We have all the fours working except the 4 strips of bacon, you know. Anyway, $1,400 third stimulus checks are landing today, April 14th. 4 stimulus checks that would pay over at least 4 months are hitting hard. And away we go with other 4 bubbles that could be bursting, not by the time of this broadcast, but sometime in the next few months. And how soon are we going to get this 4th stimulus in the next 4 months? I have all these details and more. Let's get to it. And this is Early Mornings LA. Hope you're having a beautiful new day. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. This is an instant live chat, and your friends are up somewhere in the live chat. They are here. So say hello. Say hi. How are you? Interact with the same familiar faces who have tuned into Early Mornings LA now. Boy, it was not one of the original shows of this channel, but it's been with this channel for a while, and I really appreciate your love of Early Mornings LA. This channel's approaching its 1-month anniversary later this month, April 25th. So give it a subscribe. We're trying to get to 400,000 subscribers. Yeah, another 4. So the way we go. What a day this is. There's a lot of details. And in this recording, I'm also going to be going over the SBA grants that are going live, and also the exciting great news of student loan debt forgiveness. Let's get to it right off the bat. First, number 4, the $1,400 third stimulus check. The latest wave, which is somewhere around wave number 4 approximately, is landing today. Congratulations, especially if you're a veteran. I've had veterans who have not gotten their stimulus check, and I have veterans who have gotten their stimulus check over the prior waves. Well, this I had told you several weeks ago. And yes, I was the only one that reported it, that April 14th was the Veterans Wave. I was 100% confirmed correct last Friday when viewers told me that they suddenly had pending deposits for today, and they were veterans. And away we went. The incredible great news actually started yesterday, as viewers yesterday during the day said, "Thank you, LA. I'm a veteran, and I saw it pending or available for funds on April 13th. So remember who releases funds ahead of time and who releases them exactly on the date, and let's go over the mail checks as well. If you're Direct Express by Comerica, and you're a veteran, the check is being released today, April 14th. If you're a big bank customer like Bank of America or Chase or anything like that, Citibank, it's being released today. The release of the funds could occur anytime throughout the day. You may not show anything pending, and it just appears. Meantime, if you're a smaller bank customer like Green Dot or H&R Block Green Emerald Card or MetaBank or NetSpend, you would have had the funds available to you last Friday or Saturday. So if you've not seen them and you bank at those banks, then yours might be coming in the mail. But if you're the big bank customer or you're Direct Express by Comerica, it's coming today. If you've gone to irs.gov and it doesn't show pending, don't worry, it's still likely to hit. Now, the mail checks, they're very late for my veterans and non-veterans. First, if you're a veteran and don't show it pending by the end of the day, don't get it at all by the end of the day, it's in the mail. Every round has a mail check and a deposit check. 50% of the viewers just get it by the mail. How late are the mail checks? They're about 2 weeks late. So don't worry if you're not up on those 2 weeks yet. And away we go. Forced stimulus. If you are someone who I guess I would say in the next week or two still has not seen your stimulus check, you're going to need to request it. And the place to request it is on that 2020 tax return. More details about how to request third stimulus are going to be detailed on this channel in the next few weeks. Stay with me as we approach. You're going to get that done for the 2020 tax return. All right, let's now cut to fourth stimulus. Fourth stimulus with at least 4 checks and less than 4 months away. Let's get to the deliciousness of that news starting right now. Who would get it first? If you make less than $75,000, this is you. Married couple, less than $150,000. Household, 4 or less, another 4. If you're on SSI or SSDI, Social Security Rural Benefits, this is you. How many checks are you going to get? When are these checks going to run? How's this going to work? Well, the checks would run from the date in which it became a law to the end of the year. So let's look at the deliciousness of how this plays out. If they got this to law in July, then that would give you 6 months of checks. And if it was $1,400 a week, $1,400 a month, it would be $8,400. There's 2 paths to get this done, the House path or the Senate path, and they all involve reconciliation. The House Democrats want to give you stimulus checks every month for the pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate Democrats want to give it to you every month till December. So both are monthly, but the senators are only till December. Who are these people? The House Democrats are more junior members of Congress. They're new members of Congress. The Senate Democrats are the movers and shakers. They are the elite of the Democratic Party. And how much is the monthly amount? Well, the House members say $2,000 a month for the first month and $1,000 thereafter. The senators don't give an actual number, but word on the street is that those senators would pay you either $2,000 an individual or $1,400 an individual per month. Look at those numbers. Look at those numbers. That is the biggest payday you have ever seen on this channel. This is per person. This is per person, $1,400 a month or $2,000 a month. So what impacts this? What can we do, LALATE? Well, you got to do 2 things. You got to push. Yesterday, I really implored viewers because they were not pushing. And I said, hey, there's 2 time frames involved here, and I need you to understand both of them. One of them is the first critical time frame. Get it to reconciliation. When is that? Now, in the next week or 2 weeks. You need this into reconciliation. Why? Because it's a 2-month process. Recon is a 2-month process, and it needs to be done by July. July is when the Congress goes on vacation to September. And Leader Schumer and Speaker Pelosi both say they want to do this by July, but you want this to recon 2 months earlier because it takes about 2 months to do it. So that's the first thing that's important. You need to push them to get it to recon. The second thing is that once it's in recon, you need to continue to push to ensure that those Democrats still do that monthly stimulus check as they so want to do. So the big push is now to get it to recon. It's supported by economic data that's good and economic data that's bad. Let me explain. Here, as you sit here in April, the economy is not rebounded. Jobs are missing. 8 million of them are missing. And there's 700,000 new jobless claims per week, and there's 23 million American unemployed week to week as continuing unemployment. Those are real numbers, and they're not going away today or tomorrow. So that supports stimulus. You're good with that. It's all good economics that supports pushing for stimulus. Here's the big rub, is when does that fix itself? When does it go away? When is it no longer an issue? No one really knows, because the economy is rebounding fast on one side, and on the other side, maybe not. And every day it becomes too hard to predict the economy. The net takeaway is you want this bill to the Senate as soon as possible. Yesterday was an example of how you can't predict this economy. Started with really positive economic news, which does not support stimulus, and then went to negative economic news, which really supports stimulus. Let's look at what we started yesterday in the pre-dawn with. The Consumer Price Index. Wow, this gauges growth of the economy. Look at this number. It came in at its highest level year to date since August of 2018. Look how high that number was. It grew 2.5% since the year before. Again, the highest growth year to date since 2018. Reaction was across the board, showing that there's now more clear indication of mounting inflation. Well, that is how the day started, and it was not something that was a surprise. I had told you over the weekend with this graphic, you saw this graphic over the weekend, that there's a pending CPI that I expect is going to be very good, and it's going to mirror the PPI from last Friday, which also showed the biggest growth of 10% in nearly a decade. Okay, so wait a second. That doesn't sound very good for stimulus. That sounds like we're growing too quickly, LA. Yeah. And then came Johnson & Johnson. The Johnson & Johnson news rippled through this economy, and ultimately the issue is not so much what happened with FDA and Johnson & Johnson, is rather what was the economic impact of the news. As soon as the news hit Wall Street that Johnson & Johnson was offline for at least temporarily because of FDA rulings, then the reopening plays, the stocks that are betting on this economy reopening robustly and quickly went to the negative. And that signals a need for stimulus now. The economy is not going to reopen as quickly, was the reaction. Johnson & Johnson's reaction on the travel industry immediately felt at the opening of the markets yesterday. At the opening of the markets yesterday, Marriott and Hilton down 1% a pair. That's the travel industry. Then let's turn to the cruise industry segment of the travel industry. At the opening of the market yesterday, the impact of Johnson & Johnson was felt. Carnival Cruises down 2% at opening yesterday. Norwegian down at 2% at the opening yesterday. The impact of the news was also felt on the other side. The stocks that have done well during lockdown of 2020, the Amazons and the Facebooks of the world all gained strength because people saw the Johnson & Johnson news and feared we're not reopening as soon and as robustly as we thought. Amazon, AMZN, up 1% at the start of yesterday. Facebook up about 1%. And Apple, AAPL, up 2% on the Johnson & Johnson news yesterday. Net result is this helps the push for stimulus. Currently, the economic data, even before the Johnson & Johnson news, was impacted by the reports that say 50% of the states in the United States are now showing a resurgence of COVID-19 cases, increase in COVID-19 cases. So maybe we aren't reopening as soon as we thought. Maybe we aren't reopening as robustly as we so thought. This is a reason for stimulus. And so what's important for you to know, Purple Power, the viewers of this channel I refer to as Purple Power, is to push. is to go on social media, share this video, and tag your elected officials with the hashtag MSC, hashtag Purple Power, and get this bill to reconciliation as soon as possible. Over the last week and continuing probably to the end of this week, the president will make a good faith effort to do this by bipartisanship. It's not going to pass by bipartisanship. He has to do it by recon, and he has to start it soon, because Congress goes on vacation in July. So you got to get this starting very soon. You need to push Purple Power, tag those Democratic leaders in the Senate, tag those Democratic leaders in the House, tag those cabinet members, contact them on the phone, share this video and say, hey, got to do this by reconciliation as soon as possible. The next 2 weeks to get this to recon is a critical moment for the future of stimulus. What's important to understand is that we have this economic data that's negative, like new jobless claims. We have the economic data that's bad, like continuing unemployment claims. But what's really a big issue is this. You need to do a reconciliation process. The reconciliation process is what will get those multiple stimulus checks in there, and it'll get them in there one of two possible ways. Either in the House, members will put it in there, or the senators will put it in there during the vote-a-rama. The push, the support, the logicalness of doing 4 stimulus checks now is there. You don't want to wait too many weeks to when the support may not be there. And remember, this is the biggest payout that we have ever seen for any single individual on this channel since stimulus really hit, because these amounts of money are just enormous. To think that when we look at these numbers and sort of digest how much more they are than anything else that we've seen before, it really shows why you need to do this push now. The big issue at hand is, while we see bad economic news from Carnival and hotels, and we see the vaccine trouble for Johnson & Johnson even before today, where they weren't able to deliver those Johnson & Johnson doses, this is the number you need to focus on. And this graphic is the one you need to remember. Ultimately, if they give you a stimulus check and they get it starting in July and they get it to December, it's 6 checks. 6 checks of anything is deliciousness. 6 checks of anything for any individual is deliciousness. But with word on the street that they want to do $1,400 a week or $2,000 a week, a month, that is the largest payout we have ever seen of anything on this channel. $8,400 for an individual, $12,000 for an individual. Need to do this. So hashtag MSC, hashtag Purple Power, need to push and push and push. Meantime, it's important to know that the president's willing to spend a lot more money on other people. Yesterday, the president, actually 2 days ago, the president was asked, or his press secretary was asked, what about these reports that you want to extend the child tax credit for lifetime? The reports are true. He's actually said that. He wants to pay $300 a month for children newborn to 18 for 18 years. Yeah, it's $64,000. He does want to do it. When asked for comment, the White House had no comment. He does want to do it. So the president will not veto these stimulus checks. It's not a big sum of money. But what else is coming up? What else is coming up is the new grants that are coming live. Lots of big money, $10,000 and more, and the $50,000 of student loan debt. And more news about my veterans today and your stimulus checks from the 3rd stimulus package coming up right after this commercial break. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Early Mornings LA. Boy, across the land, there is so much excitement, and it starts with those missing third stimulus checks landing today. Congratulations if you are a veteran. Those $1,400 third stimulus checks, which you may not have gotten from prior rounds, are landing today. They could land anytime throughout the day. If you're Direct Express by Comerica, anytime today. Big banks, anytime today. You may not show a penny deposit. It may just post. You may not show anything on the IRS tool. It may just appear. So congratulations to my veterans, and some of them got stimulus checks, deposit available funds yesterday. And of course, I've had tens of thousands have got it over the last few weeks, but this is the fix-it round. Will people who are not veterans get stimulus checks today? I don't know. So if you do get a direct deposit today of a stimulus check, not a mail check, but a direct deposit of stimulus check today, and you're not a veteran, drop in the comments if there's anything unique about your situation, or send me a DM as well on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. I'd like to know if anyone who is getting a direct deposit who's not a veteran, so we get an understanding if they're still doing fix-it rounds. Meantime, those mail checks are still coming. Don't worry about those mail checks. They're very late. They're almost 2 weeks late. And away we go. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. It really helps in the algorithm rankings. Let's try to do 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 likes. Meantime, this month is our birthday month, and we're trying to get to 400,000 subscribers. So give us a big subscribe. Tell your friends and your neighbors to come and watch this channel and help this channel grow. Also, consider becoming a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP, and get access to the big PDFs that make a big difference in your bottom line. The link to become a member is on the top of the chat, and also in the pinned comments. All right, let's get to the next big news. Well, boy, $10,000. Yeah, this is nice. If you had applied for an EIDL grant in 2020, it's now coming. Yeah, the EIDL grant was open March to May, and then closed, and then it was open in a week of the month of July. Well, guess what? SBA is now sending out invites to those applicants to get the remainder of their $10,000 grant, or their $10,000 grant, of which they had gotten nothing before. What I can exclusively report on this channel is the invites are not coming in chronological order. They are not coming in chronological order. There is no organization as to who or where or how you get it. It just shows up. It's based upon what SBA is just sort of randomly pairing at. It's going to go through all the group for the low-income group, and then to the non-low-income based community located groups. And you're all going to get it. Very exciting news across the board. There's a lot of other business grants that have now gone live under the third stimulus package. The shuttered venue grant is now live again. It went live on last Friday, and crashed. It's now live again. The PPP grant, first of all, the shuttered venue grant, you get at sba.gov. The PPP grant is now live again by executive order from the president last week. You get those from Fundera, Cabbage, or any of the online fin banks. You apply for them directly at those financial banks. And then the restaurant grant's about to go live as well at SBA. So let's go recap that. Restaurant grant, the shuttered venue grant, those are sba.gov. the $10,000 EIDL grant, that's coming by email invite only from SBA. You can't request it. And then finally, the PPP grant, that is available now from those intermediaries. There is no grant to start a new business. That did not get into the third stimulus package. The EIDL loan has been live and never went offline. It is still always been available. It has about 48-hour turnaround, but also now live as if you had one before, you can increase it under new guidelines. Great news across the board. Meantime, wow, the big exciting details as we go in the new morning about the student loan debt forgiveness is really heating up. This channel is reporting exclusively we're about 48 hours away from the President of the United States making that announcement. I'm reporting that the President will make the announcement around Thursday or Friday by executive order. He usually uses Thursday as his big announcement day. What should we expect as we go into the new morning? Well, the President has been pushed since October of last year by Leader Schumer to do this by executive order. He wanted it on day one. President said no. Schumer and Warren met with him in January. President said no. They tried again in February. President said no. So finally, Schumer and Warren introduced a standalone bill to the Senate, and it sits there currently in the Senate, but they got something even better. In the third stimulus package, they introduced a provision that became law that made the forgiveness of student loan debt a non-taxable event. They did that because the president had said he was not going to forgive debt because it would just become a taxable event and no one has the money to pay for the taxes. Well, the big news is that suddenly, out of nowhere, the president gave in and suddenly said, you know what? Okay, I will do it. I will consider having my cabinet secretary of education prepare a memo to determine the legal validity to forgive student loan debt. And that memo is due this Friday. Elizabeth Warren said the president has executive authority to do it. She says that Obama did it and Biden did it, and hence, Obama did it and Trump did it, and hence Biden can do it. That memo will be delivered Friday, but I'm reporting that it's likely to be available before Friday, and the president is likely to make the announcement. The deal provisions are as delicious as one can imagine. Now, while we do not have the details in full form of the executive order, it's presumed to be all student loan debt up to $50,000 would be forgiven. It would be a one-time event. It would include both current students and former students. You would not have to apply for it. It would be automatic and would include publicly held debt and privately held debt. Details of it are still pending, but here we go. What a big week it is. And we're only halfway through. So to recap, boy, what a lot of stuff this morning. First, I forgot one other thing. I'm not going to recap yet. Wait a second. One other thing. Meantime, there's 4 bubbles that are formulating potentially right now. A new report came out that said that in the month of March, the highest searched term on the internet was, when is the housing market going to burst? Can you imagine? Insiders now believe that the perception, at least, whether it's the reality, is that Wall Street believes that the housing market is going to burst, or at least the Main Street believes the housing market's going to burst. The next big issue at hand is whether cryptocurrency will burst. A new survey published yesterday for Bank of America asked its consumers whether they think cryptocurrency is going to burst. 74% of them said yes, that it's a bubble and it's about to burst. Today, we'll see if that's disproven with the IPO of Coinbase. Today, April 14th, the new IPO of Coinbase will go. And the Coinbase IPO will show whether this is a bubble or not a bubble. But for now, we're blowing bubbles with about 2 minutes to go in early morning's broadcast. We're blowing bubbles, and I want to give you the recap of where we are. If you think I'm about to burst, then just don't leave that in the comments. Here we are. First, $14 third stimulus check for veterans are landing today by direct deposit. Meantime, mail checks for third stimulus are still landing. Additionally, I'm wondering if anyone who's a non-veteran is getting a direct deposit today. So if you do, and you're not a veteran, and you do get a direct deposit today, send me a private message or post a comment on the video as well. I'd love to hear that because I have no insight about that analytics. Next, forced stimulus is heating up, and that forced stimulus is heating up after the shocking details from Johnson & Johnson yesterday. There's now perception across the markets that reopening of this country is going slower than fast than initially perceived and not as robust as initially perceived. This helps you for forced stimulus. Finally, EIDL, business grants, and student loan debt forgiveness are all happening at the same time this week. A lot of deliciousness as we wonder if there's a bubble about to burst as well. And I'm not referring to that bubble at the top of the $12 ice cream. So with that, thank you for joining me on an early morning's broadcast. I'm so excited for you, and we're going to have a great, fun day. Thank you for joining me on Javita Late last night. That was a lot of fun. And see what happens later today. I'll be back with you at 9 o'clock a.m. For Mornings LA. Stay informed, stay focused. If you've not subscribed, go to the front of this channel, subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more. And I will see you in a little bit as Mornings LA kicks in with some deliciousness in just a little bit. Just if I could only have some bacon.